What was I doing? You know what I'm saying? Why would I even be put in this situation? You know, even if, say, for instance, they didn't do the victim stuff. I mean, not the victim stuff. They didn't grape this person. What's to say? And I also looked up that location is right outside of San Francisco. So it's like it's in the San Francisco Bay. So I'm like, that's a part of a major city. That's just like a sub, they trying to get fancy. And people like, I've never even been there. To me, that just looked a little suspect to me, because it's like when people be you trying to be funny, and it's like you was in San Francisco, it's like you ain't never been to San Francisco, but like he said, he wasn't a celebrity, so I can't deny those in that. And like I said, this is not the legal PSA legal team. We ain't doing all that. But what I will say is, it is kind of like, well, were you ever at a party? Did you see something at a party that was a little suspect? And if you did you stay longer, or did you just look the other way, so they ain't got nothing to do with me, when you probably should have fled the scene? But see, sometimes you'll get thrown into the mess of stuff, even if you didn't do nothing, because you were present at something and didn't do nothing. Even if you was like, I'm at the party, and say hypothetically you left before it got freaky. I don't believe that. With all of these people, I'm not saying them specifically, I'm just saying people, everybody all of a sudden left early. No, y'all didn't. But say you did leave early for all the freaky stuff. The fact that you were still there still incriminates you. And I'm not saying you're a criminal, or that but it makes it hard to beat the allegations. Same thing with, maybe you didn't forcefully do nothing with nobody, or you didn't force yourself on nobody, but that's happened there. You shouldn't have back your head like, dang, I could go down with this, because I was present when that stuff like that happened. Again, in your room, everybody was probably begging you, like, come on, I need that. But because you was at the same function, you have to know this is what comes with it. And unfortunately, I just think a lot of these men wasn't thinking. Like I said, because most of the people coming on the allegations are men. And it's like a lot of these things, y'all were not thinking. And unfortunately, and I say all this to bring it home, lust won. You was a woman. What if you were, since you as a woman, excuse me, you dating somebody, you got a brother, cousin, friend, homeboy that comes up in these type of allegations. What's the first thing you gonna think?
I can actually say, and y'all don't shoot the messenger, but like real talk, depending on who it is, there are people that I will be able to 100% be like,
WWJD, what would Jesus do in this situation? Now, there's a time, and this is where we get interesting and a little controversial. So there's a time where I do believe some people do need to be called out, like for things that they are doing. And there's a way you go about it, and add a name, put a name on it, and the same thing. Don't allow your lust for power, lust for life, or lust for lusty stuff to get you caught up into doing something to where you're gonna regret it later. Because that happens
Mhm.
to men a lot. Where, especially, I mean, everyone gets caught up in love, but men, it's a little different. And you're getting caught up in wanting somebody, and now you end up dead. That didn't happen with dudes that got set up like that. You from Detroit, I'm from St. I didn't heard some stories where people that got set up trying to get somebody, or in a situation where they knew, the girl got the girl real drunk, and they, it was a group of them, and they enjoyed her, in a group setting, and because you was there, or because you participated. So I'm gonna say this and then ask you before we move on. Well, you asked, what would Jesus do ethically, morally correct in this situation? If you did it, I mean, I would just go ahead and apologize. If you did it, I don't know. It's a sticky situation, because it's like, but I would just say, if you know people doing this type of stuff, or you are doing this stuff and it hasn't gotten to that level, let this be we talked about earlier. You say everything always
Mhm.
aligns. Warnings, and like, let this be the warning. That's them, but it could be you. What you got to say with that?